Ryan Kirchner. I'm the Associate Director of Recruitment for the Polytechnic Institute at the West Lafayette campus of Purdue University. Just to kind of start out, I want to give a quick rundown of just some of the information about Purdue if you're not too familiar with the overall university. So we are a land grant, Public Research One University, West Lafayette, Indiana, pretty good college town. U.S. News and World Report, number 5, most innovative university in America, number 53 overall among all institutions, and number 17 among public institutions. Undergraduate population is just about 34,000 students, and we have over 200 bachelor's degree programs across our 11 academic colleges. 13-to-1 student faculty ratio, average class size of 30 students. So even at a large university, you still have a lot of good connections with your faculty members there. Over 1,000 clubs and organizations, lots of ways to get involved on campus. And we are a member of the Big Ten Athletic Conference. So if you're into those sports things, lots of ways to get involved there. 10 straight years of frozen tuition through 2022 and 2023, which means 59% of our students have been graduating debt-free. That's an amazing feat for higher education in general, is just not doing those same types of things. So if you're looking for a very affordable place to go to college, Purdue is a great spot for that. There's a couple links there you can see, and I'll share these in the chat later on when my presentation is done, for Purdue admissions process, as well as just more general information about the university overall. And then just a quick rundown, we have 11 academic colleges: college of ag, education, engineering, exploratory studies. If you're not sure exactly what major you want to go into yet, there's the opportunity for you to go in undecided and spend up to 4 semesters exploring the university and what options are available for you before you declare a major. And then the College of Health and Human Sciences, liberal arts, Crandall School of Management, pharmacy. I'm with Polytechnic, so you're going to hear a little bit more, well, a lot more about that here in a minute. And then the College of Science and our School of Veterinary Medicine. So that's kind of a quick rundown of the university if you're not too familiar with Purdue overall. But I'm with the Polytechnic Institute, and we focus on hands-on education for real-world success, and we'll certainly talk about what that means. 30 plus majors, over 34 to be exact, all bachelor science degree programs, and they're all related to technology fields in the college. And you'll see our 6 different academic departments as we get to that point in the slides here in a little bit. 80% of our courses are taught by faculty members, so the vast majority of the time you're learning from industry experts who've done a lot of research, they've worked in industry, and they're bringing that experience to you in the classrooms and labs. Our enrollment, just over 5,100 students. That's total with undergraduate, graduate, and PhD level students. Record for 4 years in a row. We're breaking that record every single year. We're bringing more and more students into the college who are interested in those technology fields for us. Just a little bit more about our enrollment. Not going to spend too much time on this, but 50% of our students are from Indiana. A little bit more than the rest of the college or the rest of the university. We're about 52% overall at Purdue. 21% female, 79% male, 12% underrepresented minority students, and then 20-to-1 faculty student ratio in our area. And you can see by department what we're looking at too for which one's kind of more than the others. Then really important in terms of, at least if you're looking at Purdue, in terms of admissions process, our academic profile, looking at 3.56 average GPA for our incoming class that started with us last fall semester, average SAT 1265, and average ACT 27.3. When you look into the admissions process, though, it is a very holistic review process. It's not just looking at these data points. It's who you are as a student. How did you get involved outside of the classroom? What kind of organizations and clubs? How did you do in very specific classes related to the STEM disciplines to make sure you're prepared for that college level? They're looking at a lot of different things that'll go through that process when you look at that website as well. So mentioned hands-on education for real world success. In the college here, we focus on a lot of lab experiences that are going to transition from your lecture theory and science in the technology field you're studying, and how to apply those and innovate new solutions in that technology field as well. So what our lab experiences will mimic and try to bring in the same types of technology and equipment, software that are utilized out in industries, so that you're getting the same experiences in the lab experiences that you'll have out in the real world setting. You also have research opportunities, research labs to get involved with our faculty members there, projects including industry clients, so that way you can see exactly how to research and come up with solutions with an industry partner that's sponsoring that senior capstone project in most cases. Thinking with a global perspective, knowing how technology is utilized around the world in potentially different ways, also working with diverse groups of people and having good cultural awareness, communication skills. And lastly, we want you to specialize in the area of study that you've chosen with us. So if you're looking at technology fields, there's a lot of overlap in some of these areas that I'm going to talk about. So look at the plan of study online, read the course descriptions, really get a good sense of what the degree is requiring to really help you figure out what is the best fit for you. We also have a course called Tech 120, Design Thinking and Technology, introduces you to the innovation and design process that you're going to use in all your courses throughout the rest of your degree in the college as well. A lot of experiences on campus, meeting with our faculty members, building those mentor relationships. Same idea with our advisors. They work with you on your plan of study, taking courses and working on your plan of study to get you those required courses for your degree. About 1,000 clubs and organizations, like I mentioned before. We have roughly 60 in the college that focus on our academic fields, and internships or professional work experiences are required for our degree. So we have career fairs, a lot of different ways to connect you with those industry partners to find those opportunities. And then study abroad, we're hoping to bring those back online pretty soon. But again, it goes back to that global perspective we want our students to get. And then our placement, 91.4% placement rate for May 2019's graduating class, average starting salary just under $61,000. See here this list of companies scrolling across the screen that our graduates have gone on to work for over the past several years. Sample job titles at the bottom as well. On our website, prospective student website, which I'll share in the chat a little bit as well, there's a data dashboard where you can look at more in-depth information about our enrollment, as well as placement rates and different starting salary averages for each of our different departments and majors. And you'll see those rates as we go through the rest of the presentation today as well. All right, so then just kind of real quick, briefly go through our different departments. We have 6 of them. Aviation, Transportation Technology is the first. We have an actual working airport on campus at Purdue. We're the first university-run airport in the nation, and several different majors that are really, because you're working at the airport, you're going to be very immersed in those industries, those experiences, whether it's you're working on the aircraft themselves with the AET program there at the top, working on the management and operations, kind of behind the scenes and running the logistics of the airport running itself, or if you're interested in professional flight and getting those flight times and becoming a commercial or private pilot, freight pilot, that's what we're doing there. And drone technology is available as well. And like I said, you can see the placement percentages and starting salaries there at the bottom right of the screen. We have 2 computing options. First is computer graphics technology. This is kind of focused in on the software that exists in industry, and we're bringing those software experiences to you so you can master those skills when you're here. In the lab experiences. So 3 different entertainment realms: animation, game development design, and visual effects compositing. So working in film, television, video game studios and industries, that's what the goal is there. And then a lot of different other areas, working again, specific software that you're going to get experiences with so that you're prepared and an expert in the software in these different industries as well. Next department, computer information technology. So thinking about your IT professionals out in really any industry, any organization of business that's going to have this. So kind of a general track with foundations of system administration, operating systems, and integrating hardware and software to create solutions for problems. There's also building networks and cybersecurity aspects with that as well, and consulting with businesses and organizations on how to identify and create solutions for those problems that they have potentially within their systems. So this is a little bit different than a computer science major would be, where you're again integrating hardware and software. Some coding and programming courses are available in these majors, but it's not the main focus within like a computer science program would be, where you're programming, software development heavy here. This is a little bit different than that. Then we have our construction management technology, working with the different industry trades and contractors and subcontractors. You're going to get experience actually building some structures in our construction lab. You're actually going to operate a crane in this program. Understand again the background knowledge of experiences working with the materials, the actual processes of building the structures and projects. But then you're also going to get the management side. How do you finance the project? How do you put in bids to get the projects awarded to your company? Project planning, overall management in general is the big focus here with this area. Specializations available if you want to focus your your career into a specific field as well. You can declare that by the end of your sophomore year. And then you can see at the bottom there's the building information modeling with computer graphics technology. It's kind of the construction graphics. There's a minor, and a lot of students actually end up doing a double major with this area as well. Then we have our School of Engineering Technology. So if you're familiar with Purdue, you also know we have the College of Engineering, like I mentioned before. And this is a little bit different pathway to engineering careers and companies. Our engineering technology really focuses on, again, the hands-on experiences, implementing and innovating new solutions using engineering concepts and design, and how those are applied in the real world setting. So again, lab experiences are really big and heavy in this area. We don't go into as the high level calculus and calc-based physics and theory and design as the College of Engineering does, but we are still learning that information, and again, just learning how to apply it. And that's really the big focus and the big difference between an engineering technology degree and an engineering degree. And so again, our students are still moving into engineering careers, engineering firms, engineering companies, just doing it in a different pathway through these programs. So as you see, a lot of overlap here. We have electrical engineering technology umbrella, a manufacturing umbrella, mechanical and industrial. It's kind of the big 4 areas that we focus in on with these. And again, a lot of overlap with these plans of study. So double major is possible, but even switching between these areas once you get here is a pretty easy switch to do as well. And then we have our last department, technology, leadership, and innovation. So more the people side of business and technology experiences. So engineering, technology, teacher education. So taking engineering and technology courses, STEM related, project lead the way in your high school or middle school. A lot of our students are going through that and then moving into the project lead the way type of setting, or industry training and development for new employees working with the engineering and technology equipment. That's what they know the background and can teach those employees how to do it. Or human resource development, training, developing employees. And actually our students are working with augmented reality and virtual reality training programs in the courses. They kind of get that practice on how to train and develop their employees, and then how to implement that technology into their businesses and organizations. And the same idea with organizational leadership. How do you develop your leadership skills, communication, project management, changes in organizations, and how to incorporate technology and data science and intelligence into those systems to really help your overall organization succeed. So that's kind of the quick rundown of what our college is all about. We're currently in the process of also building this Engineering and Polytechnic Gateway Complex. This is a brand new facility, over 255,000 square foot, brand new learning and instructional space. This will be opening in January 2023. So 4 of our departments will take up a lot of this space in terms of engineering technology, computer graphics, computer information technology, and construction management will be in this space. So really good brand new experiences for our students, state-of-the-art lab experiences that are really going to be helpful for our students to keep moving forward and innovating those solutions within their fields. And then just a quick wrap up again about our unique learning environment. We're going to focus on deep technical knowledge, applying those skills and lab experiences, and getting those relevant experiences to the real world. Senior capstone projects and internships as well. Problem solving skills, thinking critically and innovating. This is what technology fields are all about. How do you innovate new solutions with the background knowledge that you have? And then obviously communicating that is really important, as well as project management, team management. These are all the things we build into our plans of study here at the Polytechnic Institute. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us. I'll share this information again, some links in the chat so you can access those a little bit later on. But I'm with the Office of Recruitment, Retention, and Diversity. So we work with prospective students, admitted students, their families, help you figure out what's a good fit program for you as you go through the application and admissions process. We have a lot of different retention initiatives. We oversee a lot of the student organizations and mentoring programs as well. We provide recruitment and engagement camps. So we have a virtual camp that's coming up this summer and towards the end of June. So if you're interested in participating in that, it'll be a virtual camp, but we're trying to get some experiences for our students that way. And then we work with high school counselors and teachers and parents and families to help you go through the entire process of figuring out if this is a good place for you to be. So yeah, feel free to reach out. I'll again share some links in the chat to the admissions and Purdue and our Polytechnic resources as well. But I think that's the end of my presentation. So
fantastic. Thank you so much, Ryan. I do want to open it up for any questions that students have about Purdue. Does anyone have any questions about applying to Purdue or anything at all?
Nope, I don't have any questions.
Feel free to unmute and if you want to ask. Oh, I can't hear you, Cooper. Nope, no questions. What about the Belmont crew? Any questions down there?
Thank you.
There we go. 69.
All right. Well, his information will be in the chat as well as in Sketch. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to him directly. I will say I'm kind of moderating this session, and I'm a Purdue graduate. I graduated from the College of Health and Human Sciences. They changed the college name in the middle of the time I was there, so I always get it wrong. But my Purdue degree hangs proudly above me right now, and it's been one of the highlights of my life was being on campus at Purdue. And so just highly encourage each of you to look at those options. The Polytechnic school is an amazing opportunity. All right, so next we're going to showcase Ball State. And to kick off Ball State, I'm going to play their tour is a virtual video. So I'm going to play that video and then open it up for questions as well. Feel free to type any questions in the chat or anything like that. I also have a degree from Ball State, so I'm going to be the representative from Ball State today.
Granular is how.
Skip that.
Writing not that easy. But grammar.
You guys hear that okay?
Sure.
Mary, I don't believe I'm actually able to hear that. I might be crazy.
No, is it just low volume? Is that better?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Alex Dixon. I'm a senior sociologist.
Yeah. Can you hear that? Okay.
Lucina Hall, home to the Office of Admissions, the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarship, our Career Center and Counseling Center. This is a one-stop shop for a lot of needs on campus. This building was originally a residence hall, and it's named after the Ball brothers' sister, Lucina. You can schedule a one-on-one appointment with anybody in the Office of Admissions or financial aid if you're interested, which I would highly recommend if you're a prospective student. Also in here in the Career Center, you can get connected with over 5,000 on-campus jobs. You can go and work for our office and be a tour guide, as well as internships and other full-time job opportunities after you graduate. And then the Counseling Center, you can have free counseling sessions. They also have a really fun relaxation room in there. If you're having a stressful week, go hop in there.
This fine statue behind me, her name is Beneficence. Now, she is sort of the symbol and the icon here at Ball State. Her right arm's reaching out, sort of a come-with-me gesture for the community. Her left hand has that treasure chest, and in that treasure chest is the wealth, knowledge, and experience that you can get here at Ball State University. And those wings, well, she may look like an angel, but those wings actually represent the idea of being able to take flight, taking that education, that knowledge, and experience from Ball State to the greater outside world. Between you and me, there are some myths and rumors that surround Beneficence. The first one, those 5 pillars that are behind her, those represent the 5 founding Ball brothers of Ball State. Now, on top of those pillars, look like there's some urns. And the myth is the ashes of the Ball brothers are in those urns. It's a little morbid for me. So here's another myth. If you take a significant other and you and your significant other come before Beneficence around midnight and smooch and her wings flap, that means it's true love. The quad. Right now, we are standing in the beautiful quad. It's one of the largest green spaces on campus. This quad is surrounded by academic buildings. Right down there, that's our Cooper Science Building, big red brick building being replaced by a new Foundational Sciences building right down the street. Right over here, that's our David Owsley Museum of Art, commonly referred to as DOMA. It is our free art museum full of thousands of artifacts and pieces of art from around the world. Right behind you here, that is the yellow brick building on campus, the only yellow brick building on campus. It's our administration building. That's where the office of the president is, a lot of vice presidents, provosts, and it's the original building of Ball State's campus back in the early 1900s. Behind me is the Burkhart building, where the office of the anthropology department and history department are located. If you're taking any social science classes like sociology, anthropology, and history, like I just mentioned, maybe psychology, you likely are going to have classes in Burkhart building. Oh, and foreign language too.
Behind me is our North Quad, a building that I practically live in because I take all of my major classes here. So this building houses the College of Science and Humanities. It also has a learning center. So if you need any help with tutoring, you can actually get a tutor from current Ball State students in any class that you need. And then there's also freshman advising. So they're there to help you register for classes and get you set up for your 4 years here. Something else that I think is really fun about North Quad, it actually used to be a library, so it's actually really confusing, and a lot of the staircases don't even connect on multiple floors. So I like to say North Quad is kind of like those moving staircases in Harry Potter because it's so difficult to navigate that building. Behind me, through these trees, is the Student Center. So this houses the Office of Student Life, which oversees the over 400 student organizations that you can be a part of on campus. My biggest piece of advice as an incoming freshman is to get involved right away. Now, it also houses the Student Center Tally. In there, we have Starbucks. You can grab some coffee with a friend, or you can grab a bite to eat at Taco Bell, or get some home-style food, sit, work on homework, and hang out.
Now, every Saturday night, traditionally, there'd be an event at the Student Center called Late Night. It would run from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. There'd be free food, games, activities, prizes, giveaways. It's completely free for students to go. And it's a lot of fun.
Welcome to the Scramble Light. This is the busiest spot on campus. Here, all 4 sides of traffic stop. You'll hear tripping and a 30-second countdown. You can cross any which way you like. We have a lot of organizations that will stand here, hand out flyers, hand you cookies, give you coffee, all sorts of stuff. Let's go. Welcome to the Teachers College. This is the tallest building on campus, so you cannot miss it. Fun fact, before Ball State was Ball State University, we were actually a teachers college. So this is something we are nationally recognized for.
Hi. Behind me now is Emmons Auditorium, the professional performance venue of Ball State University. Now, traditionally, we would host a wide range of different professional performances here, from traveling Broadway shows to different musical performances. Heck, long ago, we even had Macklemore and Ryan Lewis here, and Jesse McCartney, if you remember him. But I like to go to the Sound of Music and things like that.
That behind me here is CIRSA Performance Hall. Now, on contrary to Emmons, which is a professional performance venue, CIRSA is actually used by students in the music department. So if you're in a symphony, band, or orchestra in a student group, you're likely going to be performing at CIRSA.
Behind me, this White House is our Ball Honors House, home to the Honors College. I myself am an honors student, and I've loved being part of the Honors College throughout my 4 years here. So the honors classes are very unique compared to normal classes that I've taken. They're very heavily discussion-based, and they go deep into topics in philosophy, the humanities, history, all sorts of things that I wouldn't have had the experience to learn about had I not been a part of the Honors College. It's a really unique opportunity, and I would highly recommend it if you're interested.
Wow. Isn't that pretty? That's our brand new health professions building. If you're studying something in here related to the medical field, likely you're going to have a class or at least a lab in that building. Wow, that's a big pile of dirt back there. But eventually, it'll be a green space with an outdoor amphitheater.
Behind me, right in the heart of campus, we're building our brand new multicultural center. This is home to our Big Four, the 4 multicultural organizations on campus. Here we've got our university theater, where our students will put on various shows throughout the year. Don't worry, you don't have to be a theater major to audition. All majors are welcome.
I mean, over here is Bruce Hall. That's personally juice for you guys. Now, you can have a different class in there, such as your comp classes, financial aid, but every Friday they host a free movie called Friday Night Filmworks, movies that are out of theaters but not yet to Netflix or Hulu.
And lastly, in this area, we have Bracken Library, one of my favorite spots on campus. This is a 4-story library with all different study spaces. There's also a bookmark cafe in here, which is one of my favorite spots to eat. This is bookmark cafe. I like to grab a coffee, go hang out, and study with some of my friends.
Now, college comes a lot of study groups. So you need to meet your study group at Bracken Library, where we are right now. Behind me is 4th Bible. She's commonly referred to as the naked lady. I'm sure you can see why.
This is the whisper wall. When you whisper here, someone else all the way across the way can hear you.
What's going on, guys? Right over here, this is the Weidinger Business Building, home of the Miller College of Business.
Wow, this is the Top Tally Center for capital markets and investing.
It's a great spot to stop and tie your shoes. Alright, this is Frog Baby. Now, Frog Baby was originally housed in our David Owsley Museum of Art in the quad, and we had a tradition with her where students would rub her nose for good luck on exams. Now, it turns out we needed a little too much luck. We probably should have just been studying because we ended up rubbing Frog Baby's nose right off. So we sent her away. She's gotten a nose job since, and now she's relocated to this fountain. We have a new tradition where we like to dress Frog Baby up for events around campus.
Beautiful. Would you believe me if I told you that this is the tallest collegiate bell tower in the state of Indiana? Well, it's true. There's also 48 bells in there. You can hear them ring every 15 minutes.
Behind me is HAP, or the College of Architecture and Planning. This building looks like an architect's desk, as you can see, with its slanted roof.
Wow, the rec center, huh? What a place. Who would have thought? Not me. Certainly not me.
This is our Gore Recreation and Wellness Center. Behind me, we have one of the best parts about this facility, which is our 35-foot rock climbing wall. The Office of Outdoor Pursuits is the one that handles all appointments for this, but it's actually free for all Ball State students to use this facility. On top of this, this is a 400,000 square foot facility with 3 levels of fitness space and many different things that you can do in here. Now, while the rec is free for all students to use, you can actually sign up for Rec Fit classes, which take place in rooms like this. Offerings include things like Zumba, cycling, yoga, all sorts of stuff. Oh!
All day. I'm taking them all day. Now, traditionally, this whole basketball court is filled up with tables. Over our 400 student organizations here have our activity fair every fall. All day. All day.
Hey, Alex.
Hey.
What's that?
Oh, that's Worth Arena. That's where our men and women's basketball, men and women's volleyball, and our gymnastics all compete.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and going to athletic events is free for students. Completely free.
OMG.
Yeah.
Check out a game! And they were roommates.
Speaking of roommates, let's talk about residence halls. Just like this. Brand new North Hall on the north side of campus. Now, most of our residence halls are broken up into living learning communities. Living learning communities are broken up into different residence halls based on major. And this goal is so that students living in these residence halls will most likely be taking similar classes and study together, and each residence hall is packed with academic peer mentor, which can help any student with their learning needs.
You can grab a bite to eat at our brand new North Dining Hall. This is the newest dining hall on campus. Now, for your dining, there's all sorts of different plans that you can get, and campus has a really good mix of chains and home-style food.
So, right behind me is the Robert Bell Building, which is the home of the Mathematics, English, and Computer Science departments. And the cool thing about the Robert Bell Building is that it connects to the Letterman Building, which then connects to the Ball Communication Building, which then connects to the Arts and Journalism Building. So, what you can find in the Letterman Building is that our telecommunications and communications classes, Ball Communications, an extension of the communications and telecommunications programs, but a lot of faculty and office space. And then in the Arts and Journalism Building, we'll get to there when we get there.
This is the last stop on our tour today, so we just walked through all 4 of those buildings, ending right here in the Arts and Journalism Building. Behind me, we have our bookstore where you can get all of your books for your college classes, or you can pick up some Ball State merchandise. And in front of me, we have our atrium, which is one of our most popular dining facilities on campus.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us today.
hope to see you on campus sometime soon.
Chirp, chirp.
Bloomington, why would we show that one? Okay. So before we move on to our last one, does anyone have any questions about Ball State? No questions? Okay, I will share my master's degree is from Ball State, and I did it completely online. And so they have really great online course options, as well as obviously in-person options, which we learned about today. And so and my husband has a degree from the College of Urban Planning and Architecture, from the CAP program, and he attended in person. Most of you know that Ball State's pretty famous for architecture. and teaching. And so if you're interested in either urban planning, architecture, that's it's a really good program to attend for both undergraduate and graduate education. All right, so our last, and their technology education program is top notch too, yes. They are actually discontinuing their tech ed teachers program for 2022, but they have really great just technology department in general. Dr. Richard Seymour on the board of directors is the department chair at Ball State for their technology programs, and so he's a really good contact if you have any questions about courses or other experiences as well. All right. Last but not least is Indiana State, and we are live from Indiana State today for Dragster and Structures. And I'm going to introduce Kenzie Gehrig. Say hi, Kenzie. She's here to answer any questions about Indiana State. For the Indiana State experience, we will actually be doing a self-guided tour. I will, I'm putting the link in the chat now. I'm going to share my screen to just kind of give you guys a demonstration of what to do. But this is an interactive tour. And so when you open this link, it will ask you a few questions. I've already been in here, so it's not going to ask me the same questions again, but it will ask you for your name and for your email. After you enter that information, it will open it up for the tour. And so you're able to explore around campus and learn a little bit more as you go through. I'm going to ask real quick, do you guys want to go through this tour on your own, or do you want me to guide it on the screen?
Say anything. You should guide it here so that you give us the experience that you know from that. Yep.
Okay, we can do that. We did talk about when we were planning this particular session, sometimes with these tours that are self-guided, you end up like in a weird corner of campus and you don't know how to get back out on the tour. So do you want to help us animate this, Kenzie? I know that they have a little person here, but feel free to chime in and add anything as we go through, or tell me where to go. All right, I'll play her. All right, so I'm going to go to the Welcome Center first. This is a 360 view of the Welcome Center. Oops. This is the student union. Any fun information you want to share, Kenzie, about the union?
Yeah, so each student gets a meal plan at the beginning of each semester. And you get dining hall swipes, but you also will get Commons Cash. And this is where you can use your student ID to get any food from the campus cupboard, which has your basic foods that you're going to be eating in your dorm hall, or you have Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, George's, which is the campus favorite, sliders. And every Wednesday here on campus, currently we are having Chick-fil-A, which is pretty big here. But this is also just a place where you can come and sit down and hang out with people or study if you need to. Most of the time you can find a quiet hour in here.
Fantastic. I bet there's a lot of events too that they have at the Student Center.
Yes.
All right. Let's check out the fountain now. Looks like a big plaza. This is the Career Center. And where we are broadcasting from today is the Myers Technology Center. What would you like to share about that, Kenzie?
Here on the first floor, there's that lobby area that you're seeing now. And on the back side of what we're looking at is the bigger room on the first floor. And that's where you're going to have some entry level classes and just some of your classes that are going to have more people in it. That's where you're going to be at. There is the basement, which leads to a lot of manufacturing classes in the building. The second floor is mainly for applied engineering and technology classes. And up on the third floor, you're going to find a lot of ETC classes, electronics. And also on the first floor is the aviation wing. And each year we have engineering week and just different events here that you're going to find tables out in the lobby and in the entryway there. So they have a lot of stuff going on here.
This is where room 105 is where we've had the opening ceremonies and business meeting and awards ceremonies in the past. And I anticipate that next year, since the competition is going to be at ISU, that is where we will be meeting together for the events, hopefully. And we had Dragster in the lobby. I believe it was like in, well, I don't think, yeah, we've had it in this big long strip before.
I think one year we had it down in the basement. Currently we are by the aviation wing with the track this year.
Great. All right. Moving on to the Federal Hall. What is the Federal Hall?
I believe there are business classes held in here. This used to be an old post office / there's some courtrooms in there. So there was a lot of stuff going on in this building in the past, but now they use it for mainly business classes, I assume.
Great. All right. The Hallman Center. Which is probably sports themed. This is Stalker Hall, Normal Hall, Normal Hall. This is Stalker Hall. University Hall. What a nice green space. The library. Student Rec Center. The Science Building. Ooh, that looks like a new building. Sycamore Towers, the books.
These are the freshman dorm halls. There are 4 of them.
Excellent. The bookstore. 500 Wabash, what is this?
500 Wabash are, they are new apartments that are just put in. They're about a block from campus. They're through university housing. It's pretty much an apartment. They have anywhere from studio to 4-bedroom rooms. Live on your own or with your friends. They each come with all furnished, kitchen, living room, bathroom, and then your own personal room.
And we have downtown Terre Haute, which is a lot of cute little shops. The Cultural Center, Stadium, Flight Academy, Track and Field, Fine Arts, Health and Human Sciences, and we're back to the welcome. I put this link in the chat so each of you can, and it's also in Sketch, so you can share it with others if you know of anyone that is interested in in Indiana State. Does anyone have any questions for Kenzie? She is a current student at Indiana State in their engineering program. So does anyone have any questions for her about what it's like to be a student making that transition? Well, I'll ask one, Kenzie. What would you recommend to students trying to figure out which engineering program to go to if they're interested in engineering or engineering technology? How do they decide? Like, how did you decide that you wanted to go to ISU?
So actually a big factor on why I came here was my tour. I got to sit down with some advisors here, and I had no idea about their engineering and technology program, which I found out I was very interested in. So basically the difference between my MET major and a BSE major here with a concentration is that MET is more hands-on. You're going to take more of the CAD classes, the manufacturing classes with welding and machine design. And the BSE classes, that's going to be more book work, like your Calc 2, Calc 3, like the heavy math and science classes.
Have your labs been very hands-on?
Yes. Last semester, the class itself is an intro to processes and testing and manufacturing. But our labs were welding. And then this semester I took a class similar, and I got to machine a vise, which was pretty neat.
Very cool. All right, any final questions as we wrap up our virtual college tours? All right, well, thank you everyone for attending. Thank you to Mr. Kirshner and Kenzie for presenting about Purdue and Indiana State. All of this information in this recording will be in Sketch in probably another hour or so. I'm going to turn it into a YouTube video so that if anyone missed the session because they were competing, they can still watch it afterwards. So thank you everybody and have a great day.